Today we are playing Train Simulator 2017. This will be, I believe, video number 14, episode 14 in my Train Simulator 2017 series. Thank you to everybody who is joining us on the YouTube chat today. This is my second foray into live streaming Train Simulator 2017. And as I did last time, I'm going to ask you guys to help me decide what exactly I want to play today. Whether I want to do an American route, a British route, a French route, a German route, and whether I want to do one of the standard scenarios where I'm going to get the career scenarios where I will get a score based on how well I do, or if we want to try to do like a quick drive scenario where we pick a random train, a random route, and just have fun with it. Welcome indeed, welcome indeed. So what do you guys think? What should we go for? What have I not done much of lately? I haven't done a lot of North London line. I recently purchased that particular DLC. I did London to Brighton last time, so let's skip that for today. I'm not feeling super German with my trains today. Could always do some Amtrak, the New York New Haven branch. New York to New Haven route, excuse me. Could do some American freight trains. Ooh, I could do some North Jersey coastline. I haven't gotten a good score, frankly, in any of those scenarios for some reason. Could do a little Alp 45 DP action in New Jersey. American route using an old coal-fed train engine. Okay, I don't think I actually... Well, let's see. That's an interesting question. So here's all my routes. I could do... Let's see. Oh, I've never driven a steam train on an Amtrak line. I could do something like... Is that an out-of-quick route scenario? I could do the Norfolk Southern Coal District with a steam train. If we wanted to just go straight up steam trains, we could do the Riviera line in the 50s, because that's the English Riviera with steam trains in the 1950s. Do one with lots of cows on the tracks. I don't think you can actually put cows on the tracks, at least cows you can run into. Maybe we could have some fun with New York to New Haven. I've never tried that with a steam train. We could do New York Penn to, let's say, something like Stamford. Well, I can make it go as far as New Haven, and then we can just decide not to, go that far. And then for our train, let's see if we have some steam trains up in here. Also, tell me if you see anything else you want me to try. Nope, I cannot drive the train from Mario. What do we have here? Could do some fun Amtrak trains. I could do some fun British trains. I could do some fun English trains, including a steam train. Ooh, I could do the Class 801. That would be fun. I could put together a nice American diesel freight train. What else do I have here? I have the English HST. So my hesitation about steam trains is I'm not actually that good at steam trains, not having spent a lot of time driving them. There are some routes that they have that teach you steam trains, and if you look on my channel, you can see that I've done relatively little with steam trains. But if that is the overwhelming choice, I will just soldier along, and we will see how poorly it goes. Pump car. Yes, the pump car is a pretty fun one. Pump car is indeed a pretty fun one. You can get going at a pretty decent speed in that, and you can hook a train to the back of the pump car. It has a little knuckle coupler on the back, so you could hook a longer train to it. Pump car, King Class. King Class. You're feeling King Class? All right, let's see what we have with the King Class. Let's say... Ooh, green with 12 coaches. I like that idea. That's attractive. And then what season and time of day and weather do we want to go for today? Because this is going to be interesting. Wait, now you all want pump car? Steam train or pump car? Let's make a decision here. I have to actually figure out how to drive the pump car. I hope it's not just pressing like W and S over and over and over again. Because that would be hilariously poor and fun, of course. King Class is pretty. Summer, snowy, and midnight. Ooh. Ooh, that sounds like a challenge. All right. Summer. Wait, summer and snowy? That's not going to work. Snow and thundery. Is that even an option? Stormy, overcast, cloudy, snow. Let's go for cloudy snow in the winter. Are you behind in the stream, LMB? Are you sure? Hopefully you're at the same place everyone else is. And let's do this during the evening. What would be the evening? Let's say like 16:30 seems like a reasonable place to start. Alright, let's see how this goes. This ought to be interesting. This is going to be an experiment, guys. If it goes terribly wrong, we're just going to have to either soldier on or start over with something a little bit more successful. I am nervous about this. I'm nervous about trying to drive a steam train, let alone live. This should be an adventure. A good 2 minutes of lag? I don't know about that. It's supposed to be only like a 20 or 30 second delay. Based on the speed at which you guys are responding to things, I'm a little suspicious that it's a full 2 minutes. I think Geek Boy is trying to make my phone or browser make noise. I'm not sure about that. Emails for days. So many emails. Just all the emails. It should have. I don't know why it didn't make noise. Alrighty. We are in the King Class. This should be interesting. So here's our train in New York's Penn Station. Let's pull out our free cam and look around a little bit. Of course, English trains are a little bit smaller than American trains, so we don't quite reach to the platform here, but that's all right. That is all right. British Railways, that's a pretty logo. We were in number 6022, the King Edward III. Let's take a closer look at this while we're in Penn Station. Oh yeah, that's a train. Screenshot time. I'm getting a call from Comic Idiot. What a jerk. What a jerk. Luckily my phone is silent while vibrating anyway. So we have 12 coaches today. Ooh, we have a different coach in the middle here. Why is this coach different? Is this a dining car? No, it is not. Interesting. Is it first class and coach class? I don't know. I haven't actually played with this particular train before, I believe. So this is going to be very interesting. Oh, hello, guys. Let's go to the front here, and without further ado, get going. Now, again, for the... let's see. If I can remember the key combination to turn the tutorial mode on, because I don't remember how to do this. Also, I'm going to open the doors for a bit. Probably I'm not. Am I going to open the doors? Not going to open doors. Let me use my handy-dandy little cellular telephone here to look up how to turn on the tutorial mode. So, Train Simulator Steam Easy mode. Because I know there's a way it's going to give me a lot of hints about what I should be doing. There's an easy mode that has easy controls. That's what we need today, I think. Of course, people don't actually say what the key for that is. Alright, this is going to be super interesting. Well, let's put ourselves into forward. 75%? Alright. Let's take the brakes off. No brakes. And I think I need to build up some pressure here. Let's see how that goes for us. Well, we're moving. That's a good sign. Let's put on a little bit more throttle. Maybe my fireman here is going to do all the hard part of filling my boiler and putting coal into our locomotive. Oh yeah. Let's keep an eye on the speed limits, although I'm not sure we're going to have too much problem. Oh, I love the electric Amtrak trains in the background. Very nice. Very apropos. Going towards the East River tunnels. Chuff, chuff, chuff. Great sound. I hope you guys can hear me over the trains, by the way, because for me, the trains are quite loud. Alright, we are coming up on that 15 miles an hour as we near the East River tunnels. Oh yeah, this is what is up. Good choice, guys. Good choice. I will try not to. I'm hoping my fireman has me covered as far as steam pressure and all that good stuff. Throttling down to 5%. We have a downgrade at the beginning of the East River tunnels as they duck underneath, you know, the river. See how that goes for us. Now into the tunnel, which should force me back into my cab, but inexplicably is not. Oh, there we go. Alrighty, here we are. Look at that nice little pilot light over there, illuminating my dial for me. Very nice. This is an old school train right here. Almost have the whole train into the 60 mile an hour zone, so we're going to shortly throttle it way up. Alright, let's get some speed! And also put our reverser into like, let's go for 60%. Can I get 60? There we go. Alright, here we go. That is deafeningly loud, as a matter of fact. I'll go into one of my cars so it's less bad. Ooh, look at these pretty seats. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Look out the window, not much to see there, except a blank tunnel wall. Alright, back into our locomotive in case anything goes terribly, terribly wrong. Let's get a little bit more power here. Oh yeah. I'm sure I should be keeping an eye on some of these dials here. Well, that's our brakes. Brakes are basically off, that's good. This is our steam pressure, which is staying right around where it should be. Oh yeah. Yep, I do indeed have its volume level set to emphasize my voice and de-emphasize the really loud train. More speed! So we're nearing the bottom of the East River tunnels, which means that we will shortly have to take into account the incline as we head out into Sunnyside Yard. And then if my memory is correct, there's like a 25 mile an hour speed limit shortly after the exit from that tunnel. Let's see, right after East River Tunnels, track 3 east. We're going about 50 miles an hour. Let's put on a slightly higher reverser. Ooh, we're actually losing speed. What's that about? Maybe I can pull that down a bit. See, this is why I should have paid more attention in the Steam Trains tutorials. To figure out why we are losing speed. I'm sure there's something very obvious here that I'm missing. What does this do? Oh, that's the reverse. I'd expect that to give us maximum power because we have throttle at maximum and reverser at maximum. As you can see, that's not the case. Yes, so my dials there are from left to right: throttle, reverser, and brakes. If I was driving this properly, I would be paying attention to what my boiler pressure is at, because if I use too much of my boiler pressure to make us go, then there's no boiler pressure yet to keep making us go. And that is why I think we need to step back on the throttle a bit. See if we can get some of that pressure back. Let's see if we can manage that. I told you I wasn't good with steam trains. Not yet, anyway. What does this one do? Aha! Our boiler. Fatal blowback on steam train. Alright, I shouldn't have opened that. Excellent. Well, maybe you should give me some tips then, JMO444. Alrighty, that was exciting. Improper horn used twice. Yes, well, I have to sound the horn. That's not exactly, something I'm going to worry too much about. Well, that was exciting. What should we do about this? I feel like I should stare at some sort of tutorial and, figure out how to actually drive steam trains properly. What do you guys think? In the meantime, I will stare a little bit more at my options here. See what kind of fun things we could be driving. I think the signals prevent that from happening, TI Freak. If they didn't, that would be bad with a capital B. Don't mind me just looking through all the trains I have while we figure out just how to resolve this hilarious turn of events. I do prefer driving my electric trains, I have to say. So many options. Just keep the reverser low and it'll be easy. Yeah, so... Alright, fine, we'll try this again. Let's do this again, shall we? Alright, let's just give this another try. This time I'll keep the reverser lower. Just wait for that loading screen again. Clearly the improper horn use was by far the biggest issue. Driving and firing steam engines. Alrighty, we are back. So we are doing automatic firing. That's good. The steam is held in the boiler by the regulator. That's what I was calling the throttle. As you open the regulator, it lets steam out into the cylinders. If your brakes are off, you will be moving. While you're standing, condensation will build up in the cylinders. That's bad. Yes, that was a ding. Somebody succeeded in dinging at me. Don't bring the cutoff, blah, blah, blah. Start off 50%, 10 miles an hour, I'm in 25%, blah, blah, blah. All right. So I just skimmed a little bit of some stuff. Let's bring our brakes off by pressing the correct key. Let's pull our regulator, our reverser up a bit, and give ourselves a little bit of throttle, and get going. Less pressure equals less speed. Yep, that is what happened. I indeed ran out of pressure in my boiler. The reverser is, in this case, what tells it, whether to go in forward or reverse, obviously, generally. In electric and diesel trains, it tends to just go between 0 and 100% forward or backwards. So 0 is idle, 100% is, forward or backward. In a steam train, it's a bit more complicated. Also, we need to keep an eye on the fact that we don't want our brakes to be losing us steam pressure either, so we should have them in running. It doesn't appear that we actually have a running pressure for these particular brakes, so that's interesting. Off we go. More throttle, you say? Very good. More throttle it is. See, it's a learning experience. Ooh, let's go to the wall there. Very exciting. Also, where is my boiler pressure gauge? I should probably determine that so I can see what my boiler pressure actually is. Speeding. Ah, that's an exciting turn of events. Let's put on a few little brakes here, while also bringing down the throttle. Well, that's amusing. Fascinating. Well, we're out of the 50-mile-an-hour zone anyway. So this is a very interesting learning experience. We are coasting a little bit down this hill. Let's give ourselves some throttle and some steam pressure to work with. There we go. Anyway, I was going to try to figure out where my boiler pressure was. This dial right here has no particular label. That's interesting. That would appear to be our boiler pressure. Let's look at that one. And this one I'm not sure about. So, you guys are putting me through my paces today. I'm impressed. We are gaining speed nicely. Clearly I can't just go full out all the speed for this particular train, which is fine. As fun as that is. How's our pressure doing? Pressure's doing alright. If I'm looking at the right dial, that is. Gonna lower my reverser a little bit more. We're still gaining speed nicely. As we roar into the East River tunnels and near the bottom. Let's hope we can actually get out of the tunnels these days. This time, rather. As I try to juggle 5 different chat windows. Thanks for the tips, JMO444. I appreciate it. Alright, we're getting to the bottom of this decline here, so we're going to head into an incline soon. I'm going to give us a little bit more on the reverser and a little bit more on the throttle. Do we have a top speed on this locomotive listed somewhere here? Should not look over or pass along the side of this yep, so don't hurt yourself, basically. We have no little plaque that tells us the top speed of this particular locomotive. We are losing speed, so let's ease up on the throttle a bit. See what our pressure is doing. Pressure seems alright. So why are we losing speed going up this incline? Maybe we just need a little bit more. Nope, still losing speed. That's interesting. Aha! I thought we got a little bit of speed there. I seem to be slowing our deceleration? Oh, fair enough. No max speeds. Alright. So we are losing speed, but only a little bit. So here's hoping we can actually crest this hill with the current speed that we have, while also keeping an eye on our pressure. Seems alright so far. And we are nearing the exit of this tunnel. We will emerge into Sunnyside Yards, which we will have to navigate before we head off on the Amtrak cut off to the north, which will take us towards New Rochelle. Alright, so we have a 50 coming up. We are in no danger of exceeding that 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. That is in just about 4/5 of a mile. Here we are. Snowy Sunnyside Yard, charging along in our GWR King Class. Alright. We have a 50, a 20, and a 50. So we'll be doing some exciting switching up there. Let's pull our reverser down, pull our throttle down a bit. Enjoy the lag as Sunnyside Yard loads. Got some nice snow outside here. This is not the appropriate era for a steam train, but that's the fun of it. We've got a green light there. Oh yeah, I have to remember we're driving a British train in America, so I have to remember to look at the right side of the train for our signals, not the left side. Straight onwards. Alright, I think we need a little bit more speed than that, because we are still losing speed. There we go. We are coming up to that 20-mile-an-hour marker limit, though. So the boiler can indeed, but it doesn't really, show that. Actually, you missed a short time ago on my first attempt when I accidentally opened the door to the boiler while it was at a high pressure, and I killed my driver. It didn't actually show me that, but that happened. Speeding. That was an unlisted 20-mile-an-hour limit. Well, that's dumb. Train Simulator does this every once in a while. They'll just fail to show us speed limits. Put on some... Oh, this is running. Okay, so I should have kept my brakes around here. Put it into apply. Back into running. This is where I should keep an eye on this. As we get down towards 20, I'm going to lower our brake pressure back into release. There we go. And then back up to running. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Now we're cooking with coal. As we roar through Sunnyside. Unfortunately, because this is a quick roam scenario, I suspect we're not going to see a lot of AI trains about, but we shall see. We shall see indeed. Let's give ourselves a little bit of power here to keep our speed up. Apparently pressure went over. I believe that is the emergency pressure release. Yep. A little bit more speed, I think. What do you think? I know. I spent many, many days, years at Strasbourg and other homes of steam power in America. I was very much a train child, so I certainly understand that. I certainly have seen modern steam trains in the wild. Of course, Train Simulator has a really exciting overlaid speed limit there, so I have no idea if we're going to be in a 50, a 70, or a 20 once we pass that second speed marker. Really? I didn't know that, Jack Creek. Alright. Not paying enough attention. Apparently it was a 20. That is not what I thought it would be. Let's just let ourselves coast down here. There we go. We're good. A little bit of speed just to keep ourselves going at that 20 mark. Oh, and now we're in a 60. See, the speed limits can get a little bit wonky in here. Hello, truck. Hello, hello. Let's pull back a little bit so we can appreciate more of our beautiful train here. Oops, let's not go into the ground, though. And now we can go right up towards, well, 50 miles an hour, certainly, if not 60. And we are going up a 0.7% incline, so let's do what we can to accelerate somewhat. Oh, of course, yeah, it's not like many modern steam engines get built. Although I have seen an interesting project to construct a steam train that it seems like was either never built or there were only a few of them built and none exist anymore. I forget what the project was, but I saw it on Reddit's r/trains subreddit. Alright, let's keep this reverser a little bit lower, but put our throttle up and see how that does for us. That seems to be working well for us. So the Long Island Railroad branches are heading off to our right here to continue along Long Island, while we are going to just curve north from here and head towards my favorite bridge, the Hellgate Bridge. And it is definitely an overcast, snowy day here. Let's take a look back at our train. Oh yeah, that's a train. Put some headlights on here if we can. There we go. That's what counts for a headlight here. Oh good. Actually, I think that's our... There we go. Much better. Oh yeah. Screenshot. Of course, we'll have to take a screenshot going through the Hellgate Bridge. Wheel slip? Really? So they are. Let's do something about that. I don't think I have senders on a locomotive that's quite this old. Tornado! Yes. I think that may be what I'm thinking of. I think that may indeed be what I'm thinking of. Thank you for that. Are you an Englishman yourself, sir, or do you just keep up to date with everything happening in the train simulator world? JMO 444. Also, we are accelerating nicely as we head up towards the Hellgate and cross through Queens. It's so snowy here, you can barely see, you know, the city around us. I do always enjoy this part of my Amtrak travels. Roaring through Queens on a nice Northeast regional train. Or the Vermonter. I'm hoping I'll be able to return to taking the Vermonter in the future. That is a definitely treasured part of my recent couple of years. Fair enough, sir. Fair enough. Just an avid train fan, I suppose. Oh no, my beverage is gone. Always enjoy a good glass of milk, but my milk has been drunk. Yeah, I've really enjoyed the Train Simulator UK lines. It's taught me a great deal more. That's fair, sir. I like the detail that goes into Train Simulator's UK routes and trains. Definitely on my list, as I mentioned in many of my videos, is to go to England at some point in the near future and spend a lot of time riding their trains. And you can see from the HUD here, if not from the actual view, that we are rapidly approaching the Hellgate Bridge. So I'm going to actually hop out here without accidentally playing with the controls. Run ahead to the bridge and get us ready for some screenshot action. Yeah! See if I can hear my train from here. Nope, not quite. That snow must be muffling our sound. Still can't hear it. Also, everything is looking good as far as speed and pressures. Still can't hear that train, wow. Where's it gone to? Here it comes. In theory. Yep. Here it comes. Oh yeah. On this snowy day. That's what's up. And now we're speeding. Everything down, everything down, everything down. Yep, I could have anticipated that, but it was just too important to take screenshots. Apply some brakes. Watch that brake pressure go on our cylinder at the top there. And put ourselves back into running. Or rather apply. There we go, apply. Running. A little bit more pressure. Running. And let's release some of our pressure. But not all of it. Let's go right up there. Running. That should keep us a little bit more pressure off. Release and running. So, unlike our diesel and electric locomotives where you just set the brakes to the point where you want them, on our steam trains, we have to either add brake pressure to the brakes and then just keep it there, or remove pressure from the brakes and then keep it there. So I am currently just trying to maintain a constant brake pressure, which is pushing the pads against the wheels a little bit. Sorry, I was reading the chat there. This is what happens. And we're back up to a 60 mile an hour limit, so let's release the brakes all the way, let that pressure release, and then put ourselves back into running so we are not losing any steam pressure to our brakes. Now we're coasting nicely down this hill, so let's just coast. So the track split here. Oh, we missed all of Randall's Island with all of that excitement. There's some freight yards down there that I always like looking at. Our tracks are splitting so tracks can come up from the train yards over here on our right. And those join up with a yard that CSX uses, which will be coming up in about a mile on our right. We're continuing to coast nicely down this hill, but we're going to reach the bottom of a, what do I want to call it, slight valley in the tracks, I suppose. So let's give ourselves a little bit of throttle and a little bit of reverser. Now things are going much better for us. And we are still in a 60 mile an hour speed limit, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. We've done a little bit of speeding today, but we don't want to do a lot more. And Tim Keller says ding. Ding from Tim Keller. Alrighty, things are going nicely now. Things are going smoothly. I say that, but of course things are going to go squiffy for us momentarily. We do have a 55 mile an hour speed limit coming up, so that's something to keep an eye out for. There's our CSX yard. I'll just swivel my camera around a bit so you can enjoy these. Whoop, this overpass. Enjoy those freight trains over there. There's our CSX locomotives. Ooh, we might need to do a little screenshot action here, as a matter of fact. Steam and CSX together at last. British Steam and CSX together at last. See what kind of screenshot action we can get. That's not gonna work. There we go. Come on. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. All right. And onwards. I know you did, Tim. I know. Lay off our reverser. Lay off our throttle. See how well we can coast down to that 55. We might actually make it at this point. But we also have quite the decline starting at the 60 mile an hour marker that's coming up. As we roar towards New Rochelle. Well, first we have Pelham Bay, and then New Rochelle. There's always the exciting 100 mile an hour speed limit between Pelham Bay and New Rochelle, where we can really let our engine go. See what happens. Alright, we are safely under that 55 speed limit. So let's put on just a little bit of reverser and throttle. I will admit that I'm still not entirely clear on the relationship between lots of throttle and a little bit of reverser, and lots of reverser and a little bit of throttle. So if you have any tips there, I'm always happy to learn. I was coasting. Now I want to get some speed. Speed. Power. I'm mad at Tim Keller for not sharing his whiskey with me, which is, of course, a total fabrication because I was just visiting Tim Keller last weekend, and he shared his whiskey with me. We are just barely staying within 55 miles an hour, but we've just crossed into 70, so let's go. I do remember that we need to, I think there's a 45 mile an hour speed limit over the Pelham Bay Bridge, so let's not get too carried away. Boy! As we enjoy the sight of our beautiful train rounding this curve. I was showing somebody the video of Amtrak's upcoming, well, Alstrom's upcoming Avelia Liberty today, and this person agreed that the color scheme on the Avelia Liberty is just beautiful. I really like the color scheme that they've at least tentatively showed for the Liberty. Oh, drink some? I don't know if that's going to make my train driving better. I think drinking alcohol and driving trains is another of those things that if anybody should ever actually watch my videos that would be making a decision on whether I should drive trains, that would not be something that would be particularly advisable. Alright, low reverser is better on pressure. Low reverser is also better at speeds. Makes sense. So why would I want high reverser? In what case would I want high reverser? Is that if I'm struggling with a steep incline, for example? We have the high ball. 62 miles to New Haven, although we might actually not make it all the way to New Haven today. We've got a 60 limit and then a 70, and then I think crawling into our HUD here is Pelham Bay. The game won't know, yes, but people will know. People will know. And it is people that we have to worry about, sir. People will cause all the problems. That was a little bit more meta than I meant it. What's a good brand to go with? So, there's a couple of good ones out there. Tim gave me a delicious bottle of, hold on, let me leave my screen to look over. Dubliner is the one that Tim gave me as a delicious Grimsman present. I happen to be a particular fan of Buffalo Trace. I gave Tim some of that recently on a recent occasion. Oh, we should get some speed off here. See, this is what happens when you look at whiskey. You let your train speed. Yep, I know I'm speeding. Apply some brakes. Running. Apply more brakes. And running. There we go. Release the brakes. Release the brakes. And running. TI Freak 8X, where somebody was drinking whiskey and driving. If that is the case, then that is yet another argument why I shouldn't be drinking whiskey and driving trains, even electronic computer trains. Apply some brakes as we get towards that 45 for Pelham Bay, Main to East. And that should be good. Let's run these brakes. Oh, that's not release. Let's run them. Alrighty, 45. Now we can release our brakes. I should probably take a look at these dials to make sure my pressure's good. Alright, now I can put them back into running. And it'll give us just a little bit of reverser and throttle to maintain our speed as we cross the Pelham Bay Bridge. We're in the Upper Bronx now. We have a pretty long straightaway coming up. That's where we have a 100-mile-an-hour speed limit. You can see that coming up on the HUD in 1/3 of a mile. That makes sense, JMO444, thank you. Oh, beer, right, beer you said. Crossing Pelham Bay. That's a screenshot. Also, the game is silly because I hear birds tweeting, and definitely there are not birds about when it's this snowy. Alright, let's put that reverser up. And full throttle it. Speed. Huh. That doesn't seem to have had quite the desired effect. Oh, I hope it's not because I still have some brakes on. Nope, it isn't. Kraken is indeed good stuff. Why are we not building up more speed here? Let's take a look at our brake pressure. Not our brake pressure, our boiler pressure. Ooh, boiler pressure is bad. Very bad. That is going up almost imperceptibly slowly. That concerns me. We do have quite a train behind us. I wonder what the stats are on our GWR King Class are. Because I'd imagine even a modern diesel would have a single diesel perhaps, would have a reasonably tough time with a train like this. Yep, I did indeed pull my throttle right back down. Let's see how our pressure's doing. Really not going much of anywhere. As we coast along towards Shell Main 2 West. Coasting to build up some pressure again, one hopes. Since I have this in the more automatic mode, I don't have to add coal or water, I believe. Since my brakeman that you can see there next to me should be doing the work. My fireman, excuse me. Let's hope not, TI Freak 8X. That would be bad. That would be bad indeed. What do we have here now? So that pressure is going up, which is good. Just it's taking its time. So it seems, TI Freak, we are also down to 27 miles an hour, which is an unfortunate speed if we're going to get to New Haven anytime soon. We might have to call it at maybe Stamford. Certainly not New Rochelle, because we're almost at New Rochelle. You can see I-95 off over to our left there. That 45 mile an hour limit is where the New Haven branch of the Metro North merges into Amtrak's right-of-way. Yep. Keep an eye on that pressure. We're up to going on about 170 psi, looks like. As it inches back up again. Ooh, we do have an incline here, so I think I'm going to have to use a little bit of pressure to accelerate us slightly. That does not seem to be effective. Interesting. This is quite an interesting learning experience. Obviously, I'll be all set to drive real steam trains after this. Huh. You can distinctly hear the change in the chuffing volume as you play with the throttle. Yeah, 220 is indeed what I wanted to go for there. But we were rapidly losing speed as we went up that hill. Well, pressure didn't actually continue to go up, 180. I'll see if I can get to that red line at 220 now, more or less. Attention passengers, we apologize for our slow service today. Our engineer is still learning how to properly drive steam trains. Therefore, we thank you for your patience. Oof. Ooh, we're gaining a little speed. I saw 0.1 mile an hour show up there. Another 0.1! This is a beautiful train. Cannot be denied. Huh. That sounds quite interesting, quite different from in here. Heading up towards 200 psi, that's good. So we are both gaining a little speed and gaining a little pressure. So nice in here too. That deserves a screenshot as well. It must be getting towards sunset because the lights are coming on. That's quite pretty. I like this. I like this a lot. A+ recommendation, guys. This would be the perfect thing to do on a cold winter evening. Maybe a cup of hot chocolate and driving some trains through the snow with steam trains and snow. I know I said snow a lot there, but it bears repeating. And there comes New Rochelle. So we have I-95 now elevated, and underneath it should come our tracks over from the Metro North. We have a 45-mile-an-hour limit that we are going into, but Tim, I actually disabled that. I made the game do that automatically for me today. All right, so here we have 4 tracks coming in, our Metro North tracks, merging very nicely in right here, right before the New Rochelle station. I have indeed seen the Flying Scotsman. That is a beautiful train, sir. See what our pressure's doing. Ooh, just about at 225. Now the question is, do we want to try to stop for New Rochelle? I feel like that could be a fun challenge. Let's do some coasting and see if we can stop here at New Rochelle. Maybe let a passenger or 2 out. Just in case anybody on our GWR King Class 12-car train today has New Rochelle as their final destination. And I'm not convinced that our whole train is going to fit on here, including the locomotive, so I think I'm going to overhang the loco and see how that goes for us. Ha! The fireman needs to be fired? Is that what you're trying to tell me here? Start putting some brakes on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is New Rochelle Station, New Rochelle. If New Rochelle is your final destination, we ask that you collect your belongings. Please make sure that you have everything you brought with you today and disembark here at New Rochelle. Trying to manage my brakes here so we can get the whole train onto the platform properly. And I am cheating and using the HUD to figure out where I'm going to get my whole train on. As you can see, oh, we should do some stopping now. Passengers in the first car, we ask that you please walk back to the 2nd through 12th cars because our engineer today has made some minor errors. We thank you for your patience and apologize for any inconvenience. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, New Rochelle Station. Apparently our doors are not actually opening, so just pretend that they're open. If you would like to disembark here, ooh, in fact, if you're in the 1st or 2nd coaches, we ask that you step back to the 3rd through 12th coaches. Ah, the doors did actually open. We just didn't get the indication on the HUD. These people have all gotten off. Wow, you can really see how much shorter these trains are than modern rail coaches. That's really funny. Our people are nearly as tall as our train. Also, the height of the bed of this train relative to the platform is significantly lower. I want to say that's like a foot difference. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not gotten off the train yet, you probably missed it, but please also remember to step up after you get off the train. Longest no stopping run. I did actually know that thanks to watching the videos of Moleman978, who I will never stop promoting for being generally awesome. All right. So, everybody has disembarked. Doors have closed. Let us release our brake pressure. Oh, what did I do? Nope, nope, nope. Wrong one. Release that brake pressure. There we go. Brake pressure released. Put ourselves up into running. I don't have to worry about the cutoff because we have the auto fireman. Pressure is looking great on our dial there. It's at 240, so much so that our pressure relief valve is going off. So let's give ourselves some reverser. Quite a bit of reverser since we're starting from stop. And some throttle. And get our train on the move. Oh yeah, Moleman's one of my favorite YouTubers, and definitely my favorite train simulator player, train simulator streamer. Although he's spent many, many years not streaming before he's done any streams, so I'm not sure that label is the accurate one to apply to him. Just general all-around good guy. Alright, now we have a little bit of speed going. Let's pull our reverser down and our throttle up and see how that goes for us. And also keep an eye on our pressure in here. Doing nicely. Very good. A little bit more. Oh, wheel slip. Not that much. A little bit less throttle. We do have icy conditions outside, so we don't want to get carried away. Since I'm in quick drive, it's being very kind to me as far as our signals, so I haven't really had to worry about those too much, which is just as well because from inside this cab, it is quite challenging to see signals. I'd have to stick my head out. I forget the key combination for that. Not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. All right. Is it that? Oh. Nope. Locomotive ran out of water. Well, that is an ignominious end to our scenario. Wow. That is not what I expected to happen. Well, that's a bit of a shock. We did successfully get to New Rochelle, though. So that's exciting. What made you stop watching him, JMO444? So, well, we did successfully make it all the way from New York Penn Station to New Rochelle in a steam train in the GWR class, King Class, excuse me, which is an impressive feat in and of itself, considering my utter lack of experience with steam trains. But given how unsatisfying that particular end to our train was, our run, you were right, Tim. I want to say that we should do something a little bit fun before I call it an evening. Maybe play with some electric trains. Well, that was really exciting. So if you have any suggestions, maybe I can do a quick career scenario. Let's see what we have available to us. A quick little career scenario that I know I can ace. A nice high-speed train, perhaps, for some speed. I am not yet experienced with the TGV's in-cab signaling system, so let's skip that. What is our Vermonter to Bridgeport? New Haven to Bridgeport. Let's try that. I've only gotten a silver star on that before. I think I can do pretty well on that. So let's give this a try. East Coast Main Line, York to Thrisk. So I only have the portion of the East Coast Main Line that goes from London, King's Cross to Peterborough, I'm afraid. I do not have the York portion of it, sadly. Otherwise, I would definitely take your recommendation. Although, let's see, for the East Coast Main Line, what do I have that I haven't played much? You see, that's London to Peterborough. I could do an evening passenger service from King's Cross to Peterborough, joining the service at Biggleswade in a Class 365. That could be a fun one. East Coast Main Line, York to Thrisk, quick drive. I don't think that's an option for me unless they've enlarged the East Coast Main Line and I didn't notice. Let's see what I have. ECML, nope, still London to Peterborough. No York for me. I have to get that. I can do a quick drive. I probably do want to do it in the Class 801 because I do love the Class 801. Actually, maybe I should do the Class 801 and it's beautiful. Do I have it? I know I have it. Where is that? I swear I have that. Huh. I thought I had the Class 801 in a different livery. That is surprising to me. Comes with TS 2017? Well, then I got robbed. Because I definitely purchased TS 2017. Also, did Just Trains or Armstrong Powerhouse or somebody release a complete York to London King's Cross route? Because that would be amazing. Just called East Coast Main Line. You suspect I have a route that I missed here? Let's see what we have here. ECML London to Peterborough. New York to New Haven, blah, 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 blah. Nope, it looks like I don't have it. That's really strange. I should talk to somebody about that. Huh. That's a thinker. Let's do a quick 35-minute scenario in the Class 801. That sounds like something I would enjoy. I'm going to make an executive decision on that. I apologize if in the past 20 to 30 seconds you guys have come up with some other thoughts. But this should be a fun one. I do love the Class 801. It is a beautiful train. It handles fast. And it can move. I know. I'm as confused as you are. I am as confused as you are. And let's hope for a gold star in this. Let's see if I can do this perfectly. We shall see. We shall see indeed. One can only hope. You see, I have TS 2017, that's for sure. And I purchased it. I made sure I had all the routes. I got the slightly discounted one because I had some of the routes already because I wanted the Train Simulator World Beta. I did get robbed. Huh. Well, I will try to research that after I get off the stream today, because that's a tough one. 2016 had the York to Peterborough route as DLC. Do you own Train Simulator? Oh, you're researching it. Thank you. I didn't think you played Train Simulator 2017, Geek Boy Tim, but you should, of course. All right. Class 801 from the depot. Let's see what we got here. We have a nice depot full of HSTs and Class 801s in their white Hitachi livery. Isn't that a beautiful train? That's a beautiful train. I'm just going to answer myself. All right, here's our train. Now, this thing can move, so the trick here why I've gotten such a poor score in the past is because it just moves too much. Good morning, driver. Following a delay whilst preparing the train, you are now running slightly late. You will need to proceed to King's Cross as quickly as possible due to your departure time of 0550. So, without further ado, get ourselves in forward, clear the AWS, release our brakes, which is just combined brake throttle on this train, and let's get going. As I start, I'm going to put my headlights on, hit the H key here. H. Okay, we'll do this from the cab then. See, we're already almost at 10 miles an hour. Where are our headlights? We do not need the demister or the windshield wipers today. Get ourselves a little bit more speed here. P1, 0. P1, 0. Oh, 0. That was dangerous. Headlights. There we go. Nope. This is cab lighting. Keep an eye on that speed limit. Ah, here we go. Headlights. Let's go with full right now because it is still dusk. And then I'll have to put those into dimmed once it becomes daylight for daylight running mode. We're about to enter a 20 mile an hour limit here. This is trains. This is what we're talking about. Ding! AWS says A-OK. Give ourselves just a tiny bit of speed. You can see that it went like half a mile an hour in a fraction of a second. 20 mile an hour speed limit. Let's get right up. Look at this thing move. Look at this. That's beautiful. That is just beautiful. Class 365 over there to our right as we head south towards King's Cross. And we'll just get right towards this 35 mile an hour limit, although then we have a 25 right after that, so let's only get carried away as far as that 25. Not quite yet, though. Train Simulator, of course, has to do its little fun lagging. Alright, we can... 25. Oh, look at this thing go. Incredible. Speed! We have an 8-car train today, an 8-car Class 801. The East Coast Main Line. You got it, sir. Solidly in this 25. I think there's an unwritten speed limit that lets us go higher than 25 soon. Because we do want to get to King's Cross on time. We are currently estimated to be almost a minute late. There we go. There's a hidden 60 there. Let's just go straight into notch 4 and gun it along. Listen to that. I'm just going to shut up so you can hear it. That's what we're talking about. That's how trains go. I know I've bemoaned it so many times in the past, but if only we had better high-speed trains in America. More and better. If only. That is my dream. One day we will catch up with the rest of the world in terms of trains. Or, you know, just self-destruct. Either seems plausible at this point. Hey, LMB, have you been here and I just haven't heard you? And by heard, I mean read. We are coasting along. We have a nice set of 60-mile-an-hour tracks here before we go into a succession of lowering speed limits nearing King's Cross via the gasworks tunnels, of course. At one point, I was driving the East Coast Main Line often enough that I knew all these stations along here. Did we just pass Finsbury Park, or is Finsbury Park still ahead of us? I think Finsbury Park is still ahead of us. Let's get a little bit more speed up, because we have to be somewhere. We're still going to be 20 seconds late, according to the current estimation. We can go 60.9, of course, so let's do our best. XD is best face. Faster! And just as this thing accelerates like a madman, oh, we're speeding, no! 4 points off, no perfect score for us. That's so sad, so sad. So this thing also decelerates like a madman. Here's Finsbury Park, I think. Ding, AWS says, all is well. Did not actually catch the sign on that station. We're decelerating a little too enthusiastically, actually. We don't need to be down for the 40 yet. You want a gold star? Alright, I'll do my best. I'll try to get us a gold star. I've only lost 4 points. See, I'm at -4. That's still way too enthusiastic because this thing really stops. So the very first time that I ran the scenario, one of the reasons I haven't tried it too many times, ding, is because there was a bug in a version of Train Simulator 2015 where I stopped at King's Cross. A few people got out of the train, and people just kept getting out of the train to the point where the platform was just overflowing with people that started walking on the tracks. It was a bad scene. A bad scene indeed. Not what you want. Not what you want at all. We are right down for that 40, perfectly in time. We have to stay within this 40 as we go down the hill towards Gasworks Tunnel Line B. We are quite close to King's Cross now, just 1.5 miles. ETA is still 10 seconds late. 8 seconds late, I should say. 9 seconds. Oh, 65? Okay. So yeah, that's the other wacky thing about this particular route/scenario, that it doesn't have all the speed limits exactly right. That may have been why I lost some points here, actually. There may have been an unwritten lower speed limit that I missed. As long as it only gives us unwritten higher speed limits, that's not so bad. But when it gives us unwritten low speed limits and we start speeding unexpectedly, that goes poorly. Alright, so we have a 35 coming up. Let's be aware of that. We are headed into a set of underpasses. That track that's heading up and over us is going to descend now on our right. And there's a 60, down for the 60. We're still at 50, so that's fine. We're going to be 4 seconds late to King's Cross at this rate, which is quite good. And now let's start thinking about that 35-mile-an-hour mark that's coming up. Aha! I hope it was a good conversation there, LMB. A little bit more enthusiastic braking for that 35. 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36. All right, we're good. We are good. Keep a tiny bit of minimum braking on as we go down the hill here, and we are crossing over. Our destination is King's Cross Platform 6. Clear the AWS. Oop, we're going to start speeding momentarily. Let's not do that. We have a 15 coming up within the Gasworks Tunnel, Line B. So let's give ourselves a little bit more braking for that, while not being too enthusiastic. Once arrived at King's Cross, release the doors. I know. And we're picking up speed again, of course, because we're still going down a 1 in 107 decline. A little bit more. 23, 22, 21, a little bit more. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, we're good. And we're still going down the hill, so let's keep that minimum braking on. King's Cross is a particularly difficult approach in my experience because it's so easy to just speed right up past that 15 if you idle, if you coast down. See, we are rapidly gaining speed, which is fine because now we're going to be on, super time. So our ETA apparently, see, we're speeding up. I almost sped there. We got to Gasworks in plenty of time, so now we have, we're going to be 50 seconds early to Platform 6 at King's Cross. And let's hope we don't have people just overflowing all over the platform today, because that would be unpleasant. Can give ourselves a little bit of speed, not much, just enough that we keep our present trajectory. Hello, Class 365. You are quite a long Class 365 not construct, over to our right there. King's Cross is another beautiful station that I can't wait to visit in real life someday. I was talking to somebody the other day that suggested, yesterday as a matter of fact, I explore ways I can use my academic connections to visit England. If there's a way to give lectures or do some kind of exchange program with a university in England, and I think that's a great idea. That's definitely something I'd like to explore. Let's not run into the buffers here, but let's get ourselves all the way to the end of the platform so our whole train fits on. Put ourselves in minimum braking, 10 miles an hour, approaching nicely, and we're all on, so we can just pretty much go for a serious amount of braking. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at King's Cross. You should not be on our train because we're coming from the depot, but I know some of you are going to get off anyway. You can hear the mutter of people at King's Cross. A quick drive with the Scotsman or the Mallard? Maybe. I might have to actually call it after this particular scenario and take a bit of a break to do some real life stuff for a while. I have a long piece of writing that I've been working on over the last 3 weeks. So I may have to devote a little bit of effort to that. So people are not getting off the train. That's nice. They're not overflowing all over the place. I don't know who all these people that are talking are, but you can certainly hear them. Only over here, though. That's really funny. If I move the camera over here, you can't hear them. So now that installing, just got TS 2016. Awesome. Good job, Tim. Good job. I'm glad you did. Tim sent me a Hangouts message to let me know that he purchased TS 2016. Here's the question, did you get the East Coast Main Line, not London to Peterborough? Also, while we're at it, let's switch ourselves over to the other end of this train. How do I switch cabs? Also, I should have put myself into neutral before I did that. Hold on, let me do this properly. I'm going to put myself into neutral. Going to... Do I have a shut-off switch here? I know there's a main engine cut-off switch. Emergency brake. Do. I should probably put my pantograph down, but whatevs. I do not appear to have a main engine stop switch that I can see. It's probably behind me. Oh, what's that up there? Train stop override, overspeed. No, that's all AWS stuff. All right, let's just switch cabs. What are you giving me all those thumbs up for? Oh, Tim getting TS 2017? Indeed, 16. Let's head over to the other end of our train, because that's where we're going to have to leave from. Yes, I would like to get in that cab, please. Oh, goody. I forgot how frustrating this is. There we go. All right. Now we are in the other end, so we will put ourselves in forward, clear the AWS. Clear the AWS, thank you. And we are almost ready to head off again. We actually have our signal already, clearing us for Gasworks Tunnel Line B. But our passengers are still boarding. Our estimated time of departure looks like, I don't know, what, 49:30 or so? 50, 55, 50 even. Got a Class 365 coming in over there. Over to our left. Maybe we can explore King's Cross a little bit while we're waiting. Take a look at this 365 perhaps. Hello 365. Let me take a screenshot of you. Nice. Screenshot. What else do we have here? Oops, that's not what I meant to press. Put ourselves in free cam again. We've got another Class 801 over there. Very nice. Oh, I should probably put some headlights on too, not taillights. If we fly way up here, you can see here is King's Cross Station. Here is, I believe, the new part of the terminal that was recently constructed. Looks like a flying saucer crashed into King's Cross. Got some of London over here, and really only a little bit of London. Only enough that we can actually see it from our train. Everything else is just blank, but that's fine. That's all we need to see. That is all that's necessary. Maybe Geopipe can change that. So I see our timer has nearly run out. Oh, now I get it, Tim. How dare you? Switch up our headlights. All right. Doors are closed. Guard gives us the okay. Let's fix up our headlights a bit. And I'll put them on dimmed. I'll try to put them on dimmed. There we go. All right. Timeliness bonus. Doors are closing. And we're good. Let's go. We have the signal. Right hand signals. 50 miles an hour is our limit. Our door closing sound is just playing now inexplicably. P2, P1, P2, P1, and coast. We don't want to speed before we get to that 45 inside the Gasworks Tunnel Line B. I love that too. They are just silly people. They are deeply ensconced in the uncanny valley, the people in this game. They are deep within the uncanny valley. And we have the opposite problem that we had coming into King's Cross, that there's an incline going out of King's Cross, so we have to both give ourselves enough speed to keep going as well as not speed. 15.7. Moving right along. Getting towards that 45 limit. And Potter's Bar is going to be our next go via. We don't actually have to stop at Potter's Bar, so that's nice. Let me pull up our list of things to do today. Nope, that's the map. List of things to do today. We want to go as far as Stevenage. All right. So we have actually a nice speedy run to Stevenage. Stevenage being the halfway point, more or less, between London King's Cross and Peterborough, which is the upper limit, the northernmost limit of this particular route. Hello, Anton. Hello, and welcome to my stream. Good to have you here. If I get too many German watchers on this channel, I might actually have to spend more time on the German scenarios. I have had some fun with the German scenarios in the past, especially the ice scenarios, but I haven't done much with them lately. Oh, we're in a 45. Let's get up to that 45 because we have places to go. Let's also lower this list of things we need to do so you don't have to stare at it. I'm going to say a friendly hello to this Class 365. Hello. Improper use of horn, blah, blah, blah. It's fine. Oh, we almost went over the 45 there. We have 65 coming up. A nerd, where? Oh, wait, me. Right. Not a nerd. We wouldn't want that. And we're about to enter a 65, so I really don't have to be too cautious. We're going up an incline, so notch 1, notch 2. Let's just go straight to notch 4. Speed! And you can see right after this 65, we go into an 80 and then a 90. So this is going to be a nice speedy run. We've got another Class 801 with dim headlights coming up on our right. Also in its clean looking, if not particularly colorful, white Hitachi livery. I've actually seen a real photo or two of the Class 801 under test in this same white livery in Britain. In England, I should more clearly say. Slightly more accurate. Human horn. Thank you. Thank you. That is, I appreciate your support on my use of the horn to say hello. All right. We are Nearing speed! Nearing the suburbs north of London as we speed out of King's Cross. Getting towards 80 miles an hour. 76, 77. Let's go down to notch 2. And we'll lay off our accelerator slightly at notch 1. We're not going to get all the way into this 90 mile an hour zone at notch 1, so I'll idle for a second. Now we can put ourselves at notch 1, notch 2 perhaps. Finsbury Park. Alright, let's even go into notch 3 to get up to that 90. Now we are racing along. And let's get back into notch 0. Yeah. That would have been more impressive without that slight lag there. Let's see what it looks like the next time. We have a 95 coming up, so we can speed up even a little more. Here we go. Yes. That's what is up. High-speed British trains. Can't do a lot better than that. Can't do much better than that indeed. Now we're crossing into that 95. We just have to wait for the rest of our train to get into the 95 mile an hour zone. Oh, let me put that HUD back down again. Minimal HUD, minimal HUD. Come on. There we go. A little bit more speed. 92, 93, 94. JMO444, thank you. I appreciate that. Good to have you with us. I am on my desktop. HST! Yeah, gotta love the HST action. I am on my desktop. My desktop was built 5 or 6 years ago now. I have 5 monitors. One day I can play Train Simulator spread across all 5 of my monitors, which is a pretty amazing sight. I cannot both stream, all 3 of stream, record, and play Train Simulator across all 5 of my monitors. My graphics card just cannot support that. I have a GeForce 6970, which was top of its class when I purchased it in about 2000 and I want to say 2011 when I got that graphics card. We're about to start speeding. It has 6 outputs, so it can power all 5 of my monitors plus my projector. Some of the occasional lag that we're seeing is because I have Train Simulator's DLC stored on a spinning piece of metal, an actual hard drive. So every time it loads a new chunk of the map, it has to fetch that off a hard drive. If I was using an SSD for the game, it would be a little bit more responsive and we wouldn't see those lag spikes. Well, they would still be there. They wouldn't be quite as bad. Also, we're getting towards 100 mile an hour zone. Potter's Bar is now in 6.69 miles. Let's see what we have coming up here. I'm going to pause here so we can see what station this is. New Southgate, of course. Of course. 96.8 miles an hour. We can do a little bit better than that. Let's notch to it. So I did actually choose the streaming mode where it optimizes for resolution, which I believe gives it a little bit more lag. I did not choose the responsive one that has less lag. So maybe next time I'll have to try that. It depends what you guys' experience is like. If you are seeing perfectly or even more than enough resolution at this particular setting, then I can definitely try next time to step it back and see if it's more fun with a slightly more responsive. 5 minutes behind, you think so? No, because I saw JMO comment on the HST like 45 seconds after I waved to it. We have a 115 limit that we just crossed into. As soon as all of our train gets into that 115, we can gun it up again. Notch 4! Speed! Further behind? Really? Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Wow, I've been streaming for 1:30. Sorry, an hour and 30 minutes. Was that at Alexander Palace? That might have been Alexander Palace we just rode through. Oh, we're at 115. Hello. Hello. 115, 116, 115. Okay. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We just lost 6 more points, so we've lost 10 points. We should be at 400. Go via Potter's Bar Platform 3 in 3.8 miles. Here is New Bristol. I believe that said. We are losing speed at a rapid rate. Let's do something about that. It's pretty good. That's good. Responsive mode, most definitely. Well, I will definitely try that next time. Three miles left to go. Oh, we're about to start speeding again. This thing can move even going 115 miles an hour. Notch 2 still accelerates it like the dickens, which is pretty crazy. We have a pretty overcast early morning here in England. Looks like our clouds will be clearing soon. Actually, they look much bluer on my monitor than on yours. Doppler effect indeed. We might have to do that again. Wait, I think Alex might be way behind the rest of us, because I definitely did that a long time ago. That's interesting. I wonder if you gradually lose time. Maybe it's been lagging for Alex. I don't know. That's a weird one. Here is, I believe that's a cell tower. I spot that every time I go past it. Potter's Bar is in 1 3/4 miles. As we round ding this curve into a tunnel. Very nice. I love those beautiful, most of a circle tunnels that curve out at the bottom. I feel like that's a very nice looking design. A good train driver always checks Facebook on his phone while he's going 112 miles an hour. That is the correct thing to do, of course. See if people are subletting rooms, which is exactly what they're doing. I don't know why I would care about that, because I'm perfectly happy where I am. Well, I say perfectly happy. That's not exactly accurate, but you know. We won't get into that today. Perfect happiness is hard to achieve. Recent events have reminded me that sometimes you just have to be happy with what's going on. You definitely did help me with the steamer, JMO444. I would have been greatly struggling with that on my own. I would have had no idea what was going on. So thank you for those tips. Hello, Class 365. Plus 200 for roaring through Potter's Bar. Next stop is Stevenage in 14.75 miles. Yes, I definitely would have been completely lost. So it is good to have people on here with me, so I'm not just kind of talking to myself and wondering. On the other hand, when I'm doing it by myself, I try to do a little bit more, you know, talking about the statistics and characteristics and specifications of the train that I'm driving. Not so much the case when I am driving with you guys, because you guys provide me entertainment and interesting things to talk about. Kerm Cave, oh yeah, so I got distracted. I have my 5 monitors arranged in a big square. Right now I am playing on my top left monitor, recording on my bottom left monitor. I have Chematech going on my bottom right monitor. I have the list of Stargate episodes in Season 6, which is where I currently am rewatching, on my upper right monitor. And in the center, I have Skype. Selena was just about to start typing something in Skype on that monitor, as a matter of fact. But I do love spreading across all 5 monitors. That's just incredibly immersive. Like, if I sit back in my chair and look at 5 monitors worth of screens, that's basically the same size as a real train windshield at this particular, you know, zoom level that I'm at, which is pretty awesome. It is definitely time for me to consider getting a new monitor, a new graphics card, one that can handle spreading my game across 5 monitors and streaming and recording all at the same time. And we're speeding. Brakes! Another 8 points lost. That's 18 down. So we're aiming at a 982 at the moment. We are on the fast lines, you might have noticed. The center 2 are now bypassing those slow line stations on the left and right. And I believe we're coming up to a couple of grade crossings, so I need to keep my eye out for our whistleboards, if I didn't already roar through some whistleboards. Tim, the problem though is if he refreshes, he's going to miss everything in between, all the riveting stuff that I talked about in the meantime. How are we doing on time? We are going to be estimated about 38 seconds early to Stevenage, which is good indeed. Ding! AWS says all is well. The sun should be cresting the horizon at some point, unless it's just too overcast for that. Also, I should take some screenshots. Been forgetting about that. Class 801 screenshots, FTW. Yeah. A little bit more speed. Sorry if I let my mouse drift over this whole area here. That lets us pull the blinds down. We can see now. That's great. What are we roaring through now? This is what? Yep, blinds. I see the blinds. This is, of course, Hatfield. Of course, I say, as if I totally knew that. I really need to review this. It's playing but not. You only drive steamers, JMO444. That's an interesting strategy. I do the opposite. I mostly drive electric locomotives. I drive the occasional diesel locomotive, enough that I have the proficiency to know how to do it properly. But I do prefer my electric locomotives, and I rarely play my steam locomotives. Flat. It's playing, but it's not. That's exciting, Alex. Sounds like things are just wonky for you over on the West Coast there. I blame California. 8.8 miles to Stevenage, Platform 3, as we roar through this beautiful English countryside. A little bit of lag there as we load the next section, and it cleared up. Let's do another flyby. Oh yeah. Yep. In the New York to New Haven line, it'll do a trackside flyby. It doesn't seem to do that in our British routes. That's weird, Alex. That's a very strange issue indeed. "40-mile-an-hour speed limit over to the left." Good thing we're not going there, because we would have been speeding by 75 miles an hour. Ding! 7.3 miles to Stevenage. That particular station we just passed has a scenario where the signal used to get stuck on red on a particular snowy scenario that they ran where you had to bypass a stuck train. I think they since fixed that scenario. That was a very annoying one. Let's get ourselves right up to that 115 again, because I've let the speed come down a bit. We have the high ball all the way. 6.5 miles to Stevenage. Now we're at 115. Now we're speeding. Now we're at 115. Our tracks are converging because we're going to go across a beautiful viaduct. If I come out of my train, you can see our beautiful viaduct here. I know I've taken a screenshot on this particular viaduct in my videos before. I rather like it. We have a station coming up here, the name of which currently escapes me, but which I can easily find out. The station is Welwyn North. Does that make Welwyn Garden City our next stop, or did we already go through Welwyn Garden City? I forget if it's north or south. Oh. Or, you know, I could use the name of the station to figure that out. I have seen a photo of GNR number 1. It is beautiful. And we're speeding. We are speeding indeed. But there's 125 coming up. Another 6 points off. Oh, man. Now we're aiming. Yep. AWS. What are you AWSing me for? Oh, because there's a yellow. Let's decelerate a lot, because that was a double amber. That was a double amber indeed. Thank you for the warning, AWS. This is why we love AWS. That repeater says I should be careful. There's another. Yep, I know. I'm decelerating. Another double yellow. What is our danger up ahead? Did I just get too carried away with getting ahead of schedule, or do we have a divergence coming up? Because I have not been warned about a divergence. There's a 70 divergence, but we're not taking it. That's what I was afraid of. I was afraid of taking that slow line over to the left that we were going to have to get down for. Let's see what we have. I'm going to do something a train driver cannot do. We have, looks like a double amber up ahead, so I'm going to give us a little bit more speed again. We're currently scheduled to be over a minute early for Stevenage in 3.5 miles, so I think we'll be okay if we don't get right back up to that 125, but let's be cautious. Let's stay right around 60. We've got our double amber up ahead here, followed by hello 365. Yep, clear the AWS. Oh, and now we have a green again. I think that 365 might have been crossing over our track. I'm not sure. 3 miles to Stevenage, so no need to go too fast. So I was actually just looking at my outtake from one of the times I drove and recorded, of course, going south on the East Coast Main Line, where I was supposed to stop at Stevenage, and I blew through Stevenage at 120 miles an hour. So that was an exciting turn of events. This is not Stevenage. We are definitely not at Stevenage yet. What are we at? We were at Nebworth. Nebworth! Don't want to pull a Nebworth. Never want to pull a Nebworth. Nebworth is what I did at Stevenage, you know, roaring through and totally, utterly forgetting to stop. So we have ambers again, so I want to say we're probably chasing another train on the fast lines here. We have another amber ahead, so coasting along at 60 miles an hour seems like a smart thing to do. We're now even more ahead of schedule, a minute and 20 seconds. Thomas and Friends, Emily and Thomas and Friends was based on GNR number 1. You know, that makes a lot of sense when you say that. That makes a lot of sense indeed. I was certainly a Thomas the Tank Engine fan as a child, although I think there were many fewer locomotives in Thomas the Tank Engine when back in my day. I never saw the TV shows as far as I recall. I was just a voracious devourer of the books. I had quite a collection of them. Were any of you guys train kids, or is that something that is unique to me? And I assume JMO 444 was a train kid at some point. I'd be very surprised if he wasn't. It's funny how, at least in my case and in the case of many others that I've seen, you can be into trains and it can kind of lapse for a while and then you can just eventually get right back to it again. In my case, various life things like taking the train a lot and becoming friends, acquaintances, family, I don't know, something with somebody who was a big train buff and had been for most of his life. Alrighty, we are at just under 60 miles an hour, coasting towards Stevenage. AWS is still keeping an eye on us. As I've said many times in the past, I love entering stations at 37 miles an hour. It seems to be a pretty good compromise in most cases. You are? Yeah, that's... Oh, Tim, yes. Actually, I knew that about you. I knew that about you indeed. That's how you had been to Strasbourg. Tim recently... I won't say the specifics because I don't want to reveal too much of his personal information, but Tim recently revisited Strasbourg and the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania and all that good stuff. You're a train kid now? Yeah? All right, I'm a train kid now too. Fair enough. I can't deny that. Bring our speed right off as we enter Stevenage. Ladies and gentlemen, this station stop will be Stevenage. If Stevenage is your final destination, we ask that you look around your seat, make sure you've collected all of your personal belongings, and get ready to disembark. Please be careful until the train has reached a complete stop for your own safety. This train will continue north along the East Coast Main Line. Our next station stop will be Petersboro after Stevenage. Ooh, 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 ooh. I got way carried away there. That went poorly. That went poorly indeed. Oh dear. You know, I'm early enough that I'm actually going to put us into reverse, and I'm going to do this properly. Actually going to do this properly. See, this is what happens when I get too carried away with trying to make appropriate announcements. There we go. And now, now I pushed our last coach off the platform. This is hilarious. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Everything falls apart right at the end. All right. Now we're good. We're good. We good? Okay. Minimum braking. We're here way on time. Open those doors. Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for that sudden braking, application of emergency brakes, and backing into the station. Our engineer is apparently not paying enough attention and is too busy trying to talk. This is why we have a conductor, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you will disembark here for Stevenage. Fails. Yeah. Everything was going so beautifully, too. So perfectly, so professionally. That professionalism was just inconceivable. Incontrovertible is really the word I should be saying. Well, that Class 365 just bypassed Stevenage. It is now 6:11 in the morning, which is usually closer to when I'm going to sleep than when I'm getting up, unfortunately. Unfortunately, indeed. But here on the East Coast Main Line, there is no time for sleeping. There is only time for trains. Something occurs to me. Number one, why is there an alert going off? Well done, driver. You have managed to complete all of your tasks successfully this morning. You are now scheduled for a short break. That's why I had a silver star on the scenario. There's a mistake in this scenario. You can only get up to 800 points. So as you can see, I got 775, which was 25 points off, which should have been a gold star. But because this route is bugged, the scenario is bugged rather, we only got 775 out of 800. So everything went pretty well there today, pretty well, other than that last bit of mix-up at Stevenage. I was quite concerned because I knew we did have another 200 points to make up, so I thought we were going to end up driving all the way from Stevenage to Peterborough, which was not within that 35-minute limit that the game indicated. So this has been a fun set of drives today. We did a catastrophic false start in a GWR King Class. We did a much better run in a GWR King Class from Penn Station to New Rochelle. Shortly thereafter, we ran out of water, failed the scenario, and did a very fun morning commute to Stevenage from the depot and then King's Cross in England. So I think it's about that time. I've been streaming for an hour and 46 minutes now, which is pretty impressive. I have some real life things I should get to, some writing I need to do ahead of some work tomorrow. Myself and my co-founder of my startup have some very busy weeks lined up. So I have some personal stuff I want to get out of the way as much as possible before we get immersed in that. I should probably also, since he stays with me, clean up my room a little bit. That's never fun. So yeah, it's been great having you guys here. I've enjoyed the company. I'm glad that I found a way to put the chat on the screen as well, because it's nice being able to see for posterity what you guys have been talking about. Hopefully my viewers will enjoy that. If you have any comments or suggestions about the way I did the video today, the stream, then please do let me know. I might try to come up with some interesting things to do ahead of time. Maybe I'll do a little practicing with some steam trains. That might be a good thing to do in the future. Maybe the next time I'll do some career scenarios, some of the tutorials for steam trains. That seems like it would be good. Or just have JMO444 here to tell me when I'm doing things incorrectly and what I should be doing. What else? What else to say? Of course, if you have comments, questions, and suggestions on the videos in general about things that you'd like me to do on my channel, certainly with Train Simulator, or also with things like Minecraft, electronics, graphing calculators, and the other things that I like to make videos about, please do let me know if you're curious about my startup, GeoPipe. I'm wearing a nice embroidered GeoPipe dress shirt today that we just got in the mail. Alex Glanville, Comic Idiot, who's been participating in the chat today, will be putting out something interesting just all about GeoPipe on Chematech later this evening or tomorrow morning. Of course, Chematech is my home on the internet, www.cemetech.net. I do recommend that you stop by there and introduce yourself, whether your thing is programming, electronics, trains, train simulator, other DIY stuff. We are always happy to have more people in our friendly little community. And yeah, I hope you will consider subscribing so you get a notification next time I'm going to be streaming. I also try to put them up on my Twitter, twitter.com/KermMartian, all one word, KermMartian. And yeah, it's been great having you guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.